Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to K's Education Arena. Today, I want to look at the pathophysiology of hypertension. We already looked at the first part of hypertension. Hope you watched the previous video. So with this one, we have two questions we're going to tackle in this presentation. That is, outline the pathophysiology of hypertension and then state 5 signs and symptoms of hypertension. Now, in relation to essay writing, this is mostly on part B. So on part B, you might be asked to outline the pathophysiology or to state 5 signs and symptoms, or you might be asked to draw. Okay, so you might be asked to draw maybe the circle of Willis, the heart, and all that. So I'll try and make another video on the circle of Willis one at a time. So today we'll continue. So with the pathophysiology, as you are going to look at that diagram, this is the pathophysiology of hypertension. Okay, so it starts off with increase in blood volume, cardiac rate, stroke volume, or arterial vasoconstriction that increases peripheral resistance. So if the peripheral resistance increases, okay, we have the blood. So this peripheral resistance is actually the force against blood flow. Okay, so the peripheral resistance, if you look at this diagram here, we have this is the radius or the diameter of the blood vessel. The arrow here is showing reduction, then this arrow is showing increase. So if the increase in resistance, if there is increase in resistance, the diameter of the blood vessel reduces. And if the diameter of the blood vessel reduces, the blood pressure increases. Okay, if the diameter is low, that is because of low resistance, the diameter increases, thereby reducing blood flow or blood pressure in the blood vessel. Okay, so an increase in peripheral resistance would be caused by an increase in vasoconstriction, which could decrease blood flow to the kidneys. Now, if you look at this nephron, this is the glomerulus and the glomerulus capsule. So, and then you have the afferent arteriole bringing blood to the nephron. Now, we are saying if there is vasoconstriction, it will decrease blood flow to the kidneys. How does this happen? Because of the increase in blood flow, the pressure is too high in the blood vessels. You find that it will pass too quickly in the nephron, okay, in this capillary, such that the glomerular filtration rate will be reduced. If the blood flow is flowing at a very slow rate, filtration here will take place. Okay, now if it is passing at a very fast rate, filtration will be low. So there will be low blood to the kidneys, therefore low filtration rate. So the renal hypoperfusion now causes release of renin. Okay, so the juxtaglomerular cells will be notified and they will sense that there's low perfusion, which is reaching in the glomerula, so they will start releasing renin. Now there's another hormone, angiotensinogen, which is produced in the liver. So the liver enzyme, this one is converted to angiotensin 1 by renin. Then angiotensin 1 is then converted to angiotensin 2 in the lungs by angiotensin converting enzyme. Okay. Then this angiotensin 2 is a vasoconstrictor, so it will act directly on the blood vessels to constrict them, increasing the blood volume. Okay, then it also helps to increase preload and afterload, and also stimulates the adrenal cortex to release aldosterone. Now this aldosterone will cause sodium retention. Okay, so sodium will be reabsorbed in the renal in the tubules, that is the proximal tubule, the distal convoluted tubules, and all that. So there will be sodium reabsorption. Now sodium reabsorption will cause water reabsorption. Okay, now the water reabsorption will increase the plasma volume, thereby increasing blood pressure. Okay, it will also cause cardiac output to increase as well as the blood pressure. So this is a summary of the pathophysiology of hypertension. So it mostly starts from the kidneys, where low blood pressure will trigger the release of renin from the juxtaglomerular cells, and then the renin will act on the angiotensinogen to convert it to angiotensin 1, and then angiotensin 1 will be converted by angiotensin converting enzyme to angiotensin 2. Then this now will have the effect on the adrenals to release aldosterone. Aldosterone will cause increase in preload and afterload in the heart. Okay, then it will cause the blood vessels to be constricted, thereby increasing blood volume, blood pressure, and then it will also act on the adrenals as well to cause sodium and water retention, thereby increasing your blood pressure or your blood volume. So what are the signs and symptoms? We have elevated blood pressure. This is due to sodium and water retention. We have headache and dizziness due to reduced oxygen tissue perfusion. This is because of the increased pressure in the blood vessels. Then there's visual disturbance, which will be due to rupture of blood vessels because of the increased pressure in the blood vessels. Then we have fatigue. Fatigue is due to low oxygen and nutrients to the tissues because of increased blood pressure in the blood vessels. Then there's epistaxis. This is bleeding from the nose due to rupture or blood vessels as a result of increase in blood pressure in the blood vessels. Then we have heart palpitations. So the palpitations are coming in as a compensatory mechanism to try and increase, okay, the heart rate, and thereby maybe increase the cardiac output because of the reduced tissue perfusion. Okay, thank you very much. Please subscribe and share with others.